Good evening from Perth, West Australia for Operation Casino Royale. This is the turn for Italy 9.7 and we're in the July of 1940. First of all, thanks for everybody for inviting me into this game. Apologies I couldn't be here earlier. I had work commitments and things kept me away. But here I am, spent the day setting up this board and I'm ready to get going. All right, so in terms of the first part of our turn, we're going to deal with our tech. That was dealt with via PBE, which generated a 7. We went for long-range aircraft and we were unsuccessful. For our builds, we had 14 IPP. Of that, we're going to complete the fortress that we have in Rome for 5. We're going to build an anti-aircraft gun, 1 militia, and 1 regular infantry. That gets us our 14 IPP, so that leaves nothing left for this turn. There's no land lease or anything like that, so we'll just roll straight into combat. So reference our combat. A message was sent out a little earlier this evening, or this evening here, it's probably morning where it was received, in relation to a transport leaving with 1 infantry out of M4, or out of port in Tripoli, I should say, correction, picking up a single infantry out of Tobruk, sailing through the Turkish Straits and landing at M11. The question was asked to the Russians if they wished to oppose that or attack that transport. They did not, so that's going to then take place. That 1 infantry is going to come off the task force marker here and land in Donetsk Command, capturing that territory and effectively declaring war now on the Russians. Let me just grab a box and put a rumble down. Apologies too in this game if I make some errors. It's been quite a while since I've played 36. I've been playing 1914 last 2 games, and so I may have things a little messed up from time to time, so I apologise in advance. So they've taken Donetsk Command, so that's our first combat move there. All right, we've got a bunch of other combat moves which we are now going to undertake. And I understand attacking the Russians is now going to trigger certain income increases, but I'll let others deal with those. So we're going to start off first, as well as not only attacking the Russians, but we're also going to attack the Brits, which is effectively going to involve the British and the French as they are allies. So our first battle, we'll do the easy ones first. I'm going to be bringing the transport out of I-4 and an infantry. I get a chip for that. I'll get a piece for that. Should have done that before. So an infantry and a light armor are going to come out of Italian Somaliland and out of I-4 go up to I-6, and they're going to capture Kuwait there. So take that for the Italians. All right, so put a rundle in there, and so our transport will be in there, and that transport will go into port. I'll just deal with that as I'm going, if that's okay. All right, the next thing that we're going to be doing is taking our submarine out of I-4, sailing that over to P-59 and attacking the Anzac convoy line over there. So moving 3 out of there, and we'll be attacking at a +2. There's only 2 IPP value on that particular line, so I'll roll that out in my dice box over here. Let's go around the other side of the table. It's tricky going backwards and forwards. So we had a +2 modifier, and I believe I haven't quite been up to date with the tech because I've just been setting this up today. I believe the Allies or the Brits will have a +2 as well because I have radar, so it'll basically just even each other out. So we'll see. Well, black will be the Germans for the convoy, and 5 to 4. So essentially just be 1 IPP damage there in reference to the convoy there. So I'll just put a marker on there, and I'll sort that out later. Where was I? And that's in P59. All right. Okay, so that's done. Try and do as minimal amount of time as walk around this board as possible. All right, so that's done. Okay, so now we're going to move 1 infantry out of Abyssinia, and we'll capture Italian Somaliland, and just take that territory there. Just leave one guy behind in Abyssinia. All right. Next, we're going to bring this tactical out of Italian Somaliland, 1, 2, 3, 4 into Nubia, and attack into there. At the same time, bringing 1 infantry out of Eritrea and the other infantry out of Abyssinia that hadn't moved yet, as well as the Cav. Obviously, we're going into desert, so there'll be desert penalties there. Let's roll that out. Just grab a dice box over here. Not moving backwards and forwards every 2 seconds. All right. So again, a little rusty with the values and everything, so I'll have to just double check that on the board. All right. Okay, so there's no first strikes or anything like that. There's nothing like that to worry about. So we're just going to go with our 2. So we'll have 2 regular infantry, which is green dice. They'll be attacking on 1s. So I'll just place that there. So 2 dice there. We've got the Cav, which will be attacking. So only, okay, the Cav is 2. The Cav will also be attacking on 1s. So that's another green dice. And then we've got the tactical, which will be hitting on a 7 from memory. Is it 7? No, it's 5. Hitting on a 5. Okay. That'll be a red dice. All right, so that's our attacks. So we've got 3 at 1 and 1 at 5. So that'll be the dice there. That's the combination. So there we go, first round of combat. And that's cocked, but I'll say that's a 6. So nothing there. In return, there's 1 British infantry turning fire on a 4. And he misses. All right, here we go again. And we get a hit there on the 1, and we'll see if the British play misses. So he gets an 8. All right, so we take Nubia with no casualties. It's worth 1 IPP. Again, forgive me, I'm not fully across everyone's incomes just yet. So Italy will go to 11. With the capture of that territory. Okay, so that's done. That's done. I'll take these combat things off. That's done. That's done. All's done. All that's finished. All right, now our last combat is going to just be raiding. So we got the 3 coastals, which will only be on a 1, and they're going to be attacking this Mediterranean line, the British line, which is worth 6. So they'll have radar obviously to defend. So they'll be. I'll just do these individually, just to cover off each submarine. Make sure I've got some shot. So really, that's better. All right, the white dice will be the Allies. The black dice will be the Italians. So this is the first coastal. So nothing there. So second coastal. Nothing again. Oh no, that's 2 and 4. Sorry, my bad. So I'm the black dice. So +5, so that'll be a 5, 2, 4. So that's 1 damage. So so far on that line. It is late here, so apologies. All right, and the last one. So it's going to be 5 to 3. So that's another 2 damage. So it's going to be a total of 3 damage to that English line there for convoys. Right, I believe that's everything for me in terms of combat. So I will go ahead and place units. So out of that, the completion of the fort, I've just put that there, it's already here, so, well, throw that guy out. So that's completed. Got the 1 infantry, which will be going into northern Italy. 1 militia, which will go into southern Italy. And an AA gun, which will go into northern Italy. All right, just do a very quick disposition. Shouldn't take long at all. All right, so in Tripoli, there's 1 militia. In port, there is 1 battleship in Tripoli, 1 battleship, 1 heavy cruiser, 1 light cruiser, 4 destroyers, 1 torpedo boat destroyer. The task force in Tobruk now has 2 infantry, 2 marines, 1 airborne, 1 cav, 1 motorized, 2 fighters, 1 air transport. In Italian Somaliland, there is 1 infantry. In French Somaliland, there is 1 infantry. In Nubia, there is now 2 infantry. Oh, I forgot to fly the tactical back. So that tactical will just land back in Abyssinia. So correction, in Abyssinia, there's going to be 1 tactical. In Nubia, there's going to be 2 infantry, 1 cav, and that's that. In port, in Kuwait, there is 1 light armor, 1 infantry, and 1 transport in port. There is 1 regular submarine in P-59. And I think that's got everything. I think everything is covered. In Italy, the mainland of Italy, in southern Italy, there is 1 militia. So it's going to be Rome. It's going to be Rome. Rome, there's 4 militia and a seaplane. And now in northern Italy, there is 1, 2, 3, 4 infantry, 2 mountains, 2 anti-air, 2 cav. And I believe that's everything. Hopefully I haven't messed anything up. And I'll upload this. And yeah, thanks again. And we'll see you on the next turn.